The fact that Edmund grabbed his phone gave me time to pull this out of my pocket. This amazing piece of paper is the basis of the homily. I'm not going to read it because there's almost nothing which is legible on it, but I am going to read one phrase which helped me a lot this morning. It helped me before, but I remembered it this morning, and it has to do with the gospel and the readings. The phrase is a phrase which Father Raphael said to us recently when we were back over in Spain, and he said it in a moment of rampage. It was a holy rampage. Father Raphael is the founder of the Home of the Mother. And he has moments where he gives slack, like he gets out, and he says things which are really from the heart and which a lot of us love. This was one of those moments. So what it was is that the brothers and sisters we've been planning for the past couple, maybe almost a year at this point, an event in Covadonga. It's a Eucharistic Marian. It's like a World Youth Day, but not on World Youth Day. It's a World Youth Day that, starting from scratch and without all the force behind it that the Pope has, just something smaller, but we don't really want it to be small. And so we were organizing it and at one point Father Raphael, one of the sisters, were saying, yes, there's this many people we've talked to and this many people. And that's when, in this context, that he said this phrase. La diferencia entre vosotras y yo es que os contentáis. The difference between me and you guys is that you guys are satisfied. It sounds almost nice here, but it's an uppercut. And the way he said it was, Fwa! Like, that's you, this is me. There's a phrase which did a lot of good. You have to imagine like the moment, because there's a moment he's like, look, you guys have invited this, you guys have done this and this, but you guys are happy with it. You're happy with it. I would not be happy with that. I would go and I would rent a bus, and I would make sure there's a busload coming. And I'd make sure that I'd buy another bus, and I know that I'd be in debt, and I'd get it moving. And I would take an airplane, and I would figure out how to get an airplane from that other country to come here. And I'd get in debt as well for that. And I'd figure it out, and I'd get it all done. When I thought about this, I was remembering how my mom, before the wedding of my brother, went to a seamstress. And it was a seamstress who was probably like a 4-foot tall Filipino lady. And my mom went with the dress, and she had it fit her correctly, and it fit her better after the seamstress worked with it. And my mom was like moving her head, wagging, just as like, this is nice, this is great, yeah. And the seamstress gave out to her saying, not good enough, not good enough. She was not happy with it at all. And she spent the next week touching it up again and again and again. And I found out later, I think she had like a month-long waiting list of people who wanted her to fix their dress. Recently, I've had a haircut. I'm not going to say who gave the haircut, but I think it's on this side. I think it's over here. There's like a chunk of like hair pulled out. Just like, wow. And I remember noticing as well, because we have a friend of ours who cuts hair in Spain. He didn't do this, by the way. But he had like the Golden Scissors Award. In other words, internationally, he had the best haircuts in the world. And I remember it was really interesting because I was learning to cut hair with him. And I would cut hair, and I thought I would end it and be like, you know what, I'm pretty happy with that. And he would be like, you'd like have one of those like deep breaths and start and like redo everything. I think it's interesting as well. I know people who work with computers. Well, just as my dad works with computers. And when he works with computers, his whole job is that after everyone has like finished like a job, which is like fixing the computer, making sure everything works, his job is just, all he has to do is check it. All he has to do is check it. He has tons of work. And whenever he hears a processor working, like he can't sleep. Another example of this is one of the brothers of the community, Father Reinhardt, who is notorious for being a perfectionist. I remember I asked him, it was a serious question. I asked him, he's from Austria, but he speaks German, and I say, how do you say perfect in German? He said, gut. Good. I remember once we were working and he just decided to clean a bathroom. One of the bathrooms in our house, there was 4 bathrooms, the kitchen, 2 kitchens, I don't know how many rooms there were, and he started to clean the bathroom. Remember, the bathroom's about, it's not a big bathroom, it's a relatively small bathroom. He started to clean the bathroom. In the meantime, I knew that since there's only 2 of us, the rest would also have to be cleaned. I don't like dedicating my life to cleaning. I do like to clean. I get a joy when it looks nice, it's a big deal. But I knew I had other things to do. So what I decided to do was I started to clean everything else. I managed to sweep the floors, do the laundry, wash the dishes, clean the other bathrooms, and then he asked me, I'm going to start cleaning the other bathroom. I said, no, it's okay. It's already finished. But the interesting thing about this story is, think about how clean the bathroom was after. The reason I'm saying all these things, all these examples, and there's more that could be given, is because the Lord is zealous. It comes out in the first reading, it comes out in the gospel, and it comes out even in the psalm. It doesn't say zealous, it says the fear of the Lord is holy, abiding forever. In other words, holy souls are never satisfied. We're never supposed to be like, okay, that's good enough. It's true you might have to go on to the next thing, but in the spiritual realm, we shouldn't be, oh, I'm satisfied. I'm doing enough. I'm doing as much as I can, because the Lord is a jealous God. And remember that the souls that are perfect and can't get better are in heaven. The rest of us can. I don't think that Our Lady, when she was on the earth, was like, I'm the Immaculate Conception. No, her attitude was precisely the fear of the Lord. And I think it's so beautiful that like St. Teresa of Avila in her mansions, that even in the second mansion, she already starts to talk about the fear of the Lord. How she says the healthy thing is to always want more. To always want more, to not be satisfied. I'm sure you've noticed that I don't see you. That I feel like I'm blind right now, and it's not because I think I look better without glasses on. It's because I stepped on my glasses. But I think this is a good example, because in Garabandal, Our Lady, Garabandal is an apparition of Our Lady in the north of Spain that the Holy Mother were very devoted to say the least. And in Garabandal, she would look over the heads of those she had around them, of the girls, of the 4 girls who were seeing her in vision. And I'm just, I might be looking over your head, but I'm honestly trying to look at you, just to make that clear. But in the case of Our Lady, she was actually looking over the heads of those she had around her, because they actually asked her at one point, why are you doing this? Why aren't you looking at us? Why aren't you looking at us in the eyes? And she said, I'm looking over you because I'm thinking of all my children who through you can be touched. And I'm thinking that that's precisely the spirit of Father Raphael when he was saying, you're not doing enough. Like you're just, the difference between me and you is that you're satisfied. And I think God can say that to us. Notice how today Jesus, was it horrendous that were they doing pagan worship in the temple? No. Were they in the Holy of Holies? No, they're in the outer section of the temple. The outer section. They probably didn't even cross the Sharek. They probably didn't cross any. There was probably just in the outsides. But Jesus was not satisfied with that. Jesus wants to purify our souls first. But the more pure our souls get, the more and the less satisfied we are. Not only with ourselves, but with the state of the world. So as we continue this holy sacrifice of the Mass, We can beg the Lord for the grace to not be happy, to not be content. There's a phrase from Isaiah where it says, I have taken off my robe of peace. In other words, I'm no longer satisfied. I have taken off my robe of peace. I will cry to the everlasting all my days. Amen.